Streezy, and I'm here to tell you what's happening on X. So you may have heard a ton of people on X complaining about phone service outages and even having a little go at provider wars. Maybe you experienced it and saw an SOS message on your phone. But this wasn't the fault of AT&T, Verizon, US Cellular, none of that. This was actually a radio communication interruption that could have been caused by a solar flare. Yes, if you didn't know it already, space weather can affect, well, a lot of things, but your technology is one of them. Supposedly, we're entering a solar maximum, so we're about to start enduring a lot more solar flares and solar storms. As far as last night's occurrence, which happened around 1:30 a.m. Eastern time, by the way, this type of thing affects high-frequency radio signals. So you should have been still able to use Wi-Fi, but I don't think it would hurt for us to take this as a sign to make sure we're not solely reliant on technology in case something were to occur where we have to survive without it. What do you think? So Google is trending mainly for its latest AI image generator, Gemini, because it does the opposite of whitewashing. So it's a big topic now because news outlets have picked it up and Elon Musk retweeted one of them. But it's funny because I look at a lot of AI creator accounts, so X is showing me this content all the time. And I saw this happening a few days ago when the Gemini 1.5 update went live. There was a lot of hype about it. But of course, it only takes a little while of playing with an image generator before you start generating images of people, naturally. And I think the thread that I organically stumbled upon might have been the one to kick this whole thing off. This user, handle IMAO_, started to realize that he found it difficult to get Gemini to generate Caucasian males. Not just general pictures either, instances where you can pretty much guarantee at least majority of said thing consists of Caucasian males, or CMs, which it's great that they offer variety. But it is curious how they won't offer even one out of the 4 outputs in multiple prompt attempts. Now I will say, at least it's not taking it completely to the other side of hatred, I guess you'd say, because he tried entering negative prompts to see if they would display the CMs as negative stereotypes, but it did not. Something else he noted was that Gemini didn't seem to feel the need to diversify other cultural groups, so it still seems to have some sort of lack of balance. He also found that it would ignore male pronouns when asking for a specific gender, but it still gave him females when he put her. And there's a ton more in this thread. You really should check it out. I'll repost the original thread under my X post. You can see it all there. And of course, I have to mention that he did eventually get it to give him Caucasians, just took a while and some testing. It's only very specific niches. Also, Google just straight up paused the whole thing after the backlash, so I assume they might do something about it. But what is this? Well, some AI tools have certain safeguards. Large corporations like Google and Microsoft are going to put these in place coming out the gate because they don't want to be the one behind something like another Taylor Swift scandal. So in Google's instance, Gemini gives a prompt that is unable to generate images that specify gender or ethnicity. This just seems to be something that the Google brand itself is about, because another user, handle Eyelash Show, says Google has even manipulated its search results to promote equity and algorithmic fairness. So it's once again a topic of conversation to question if this type of fairness is also a type of censorship. For the sake of truth, which I believe if everyone just gives more honest input, we can piece everything together and build closer to knowing the whole truth. So I would like to add mine, because I feel like it plays a little bit of devil's advocate for this argument, so hear me out. I've been playing with AI tools for months, especially image generators. It does depend on the program, but I would say typing in a prompt of a person without distinguishing race, it automatically gives me Caucasian people about 90 to 99% of the time. I am logged into these with my email and all my personal info and photos, so can they see how I look and give me responses based on that? Maybe. I would be interested in hearing if people of color logged into one with all their personal info and photos and a big company with a backing, like the Microsoft image generator, and see what kind of people it typically gives you in your photos. Would be very curious to know about that. However, I do have to say, when prompted, the tools that I've used allow you to establish race and other characteristics. So this is a discussion to have. How much of the safety bumpers are we going to want in our AI tools? And yeah, I said we, because whether you use AI now or not, pretty soon we're not going to have much of a choice unless you abandon the internet and technology completely. So even if you feel like this doesn't apply to you yet, it will, and your input matters. I know it seems like a silly little picture maker now, but AI is going to be able to run the world on its own. I just saw a video the other day. A Taiwanese computer scientist based in Beijing wrote a book on AI in China and the Silicon Valley, said the pace we're at now, in about 15 years, 40% of jobs globally will be replaced with AI. 15 years. but we don't have to fear things if we understand them. I believe humans and AI can work in tandem and do great things together and go very far and make our lives easier in so many ways. But seriously, it's advancing so fast, and if you don't keep up, companies will be able to say whatever they want is just how it is. But if we pay attention and learn, we can know better and have our tools work with us, not against us. Luckily, the concept of AI is open source, so there will be an open market with plenty of options, and we can vote with our time and with our money who we want to be leading the frontier of our future AI world. Okay, that's my time for today. I know today was less amounts of trends and more discussion, and unfortunately right now I'm working based off time, so I've got to end it here, but this is a huge deal, and I want to open up for conversation, or at least get you started thinking about it. But I would love any questions or comments you have below, and I will see you tomorrow.